Only a few hours ago, over $500 million worth of Bitcoin was sold by Fidelity. Are they doing the biggest mistake of their life, or do they have some insider info? Let's analyze what's behind this move and what's incoming.
My crypto paradise.
Hello ladies and gentlemen of the Paradise Club, this is Simon from My Crypto Paradise, and in this video we will be discussing what's gonna happen next with Ethereum, what's gonna happen next with Bitcoin, and where the market is shifting or not shifting. As you remember from the previous videos, we have been going through Ethereum and Bitcoin. From Ethereum perspective, we have expected that Ethereum will go towards this level, and then after we have reached that, I've told you about these two next resistances. As you can see, we have hit both of them already, and after that we have started to crash to the downside. Well, and right now the question is what's gonna happen next, right? As you can see from the high time frame perspectives, there is no trend at all, right? We are zigzag moving right now for a few weeks already. This is great for short-term trading, but not really good for swing trading because there is no trend basically. Do I believe that this will change very soon? Can we have some new trend? And who is going to be the leader of this new trend? Bitcoin or Ethereum? Well, for that we need to go and dive a little bit deeper. So let me show you Ethereum/Bitcoin chart, and we can understand where the strength is and who is stronger right now. So as you can see, there was a great volume inflow on May 5th. Yeah, thanks to that we have also been able to break this trend line that we have been creating since around 24th of June 2024. All right, as you can see right now, for the first time finally we have started to break above this trend line, and it seems that we can start breaking through this multi-month bearish trend. However, there are some conditions that needs to be met first. If we want to continue this trend of Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin, not only we need to sustain above this trend line, we also need to start breaking and creating a base above the moving average orange trend line right here. So what I want to see that will tell me, all right, with the highest probability we can start a strong trend and continue in this decoupling of Ethereum from Bitcoin that I have been talking about in the previous videos. We firstly need to reclaim this resistance, turn it into a support, and then there will be a high probability setups forming for Ethereum bull trend. So all eyes on that. The weekly candle is closing in 1 day, 8 hours. I don't think that this one will be the one that will close above that moving average trend line, but the more we try, and we already tried for almost 3 times, ladies and gentlemen, the weaker the resistance gets, and sooner or later I do believe that if Ethereum is bullish, this trend line will break and we can start a new trend. However, there are some other conditions that can help us to understand with how much of a probability this can actually happen. So another indicator we can have a look at a different chart, Ethereum dominance. All right, and as you can see, the Ethereum dominance is also having a nice reaction from the support, and we are also trying to break through this resistance trend line. I do believe that the Ethereum dominance actually could close this weekly candle above this moving average trend line. If that's gonna happen, the probabilities for Ethereum and Bitcoin sustaining this trend is gonna be much higher. What that will increase even more if Bitcoin dominance can close below this resistance. Okay, if we can close this weekly candle below this resistance that is made out of 0.786 Fibonacci retracement level together with Ethereum dominance closing above this moving average trend line, that will increase the probabilities that sooner or later this moving average trend line will get broken and we can actually continue in this Ethereum Bitcoin trend, ladies and gentlemen, even without a crypto total market cap needing to increase, because the volume will flow from Bitcoin into Ethereum. As you know from the previous videos, the trend is already there. From the lower time frames I've shown you, it's visible. There are some money flowing from Bitcoin into Ethereum. We just need a little bit more confirmations for this to say for a certainty. However, we need to be careful. If Bitcoin dominance will start to close in above this resistance trend line, Ethereum dominance starts to close some multiple weekly candles below this moving average trend line, and together with that Ethereum/Bitcoin chart will start dropping back inside of this triangle, that will be a bad sign. All right, so with the Paradise team, for our Paradise Family VIPs, we are monitoring the crypto market 24/7 24/7, 7 days a week, and we are adjusting our trading strategies based on that. What is also very important right now to keep an eye on is the trading sentiment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are above 50%. You can find this actually on our website, mycryptoparadise.com. It's for free, and we are taking, with the help of an AI agents, sentiment from Bitcoin Talk, Reddit, and Twitter. Alright, and we are tracking loads of words. Basically, some words and phrases are bullish, some are bearish, and based on that, we are getting some kind of the score. Right now, we are quite high. Henceforth, we need to be careful. Alright, as a professional traders, we always need to be ready for the big moves. Alright, because they always decide your future. You can be trading small moves here and there, month by month, and it always happens in the crypto market. Then only one big moves come, right? A big candle to the upside or to the downside. You are not ready for the big candle and your account is wiped out. And you can be trading for months, multiple months, even years successfully, but because you are not prepared for the big moves, your strategy is not taking that in consideration, these kind of rare volatile moments, you are gonna get caught unguarded, right? It happened with the Luna crash. It's gonna happen in the future as well. Henceforth, as a professional trader, you always need to adapt your trading strategies to be ready for the big moves. If you are doing swing trading and day trading, not that necessary for scalping, even though you should be able to react fast on the market. That is important as well. Before we analyze Ethereum, let's have a look on Bitcoin, okay? After that, we will be analyzing Ethereum on the daily time frame, aka high time frame chart as well. So if we shift our focus on Bitcoin, and this is important to understand what's going on a daily chart of Bitcoin versus daily chart of Ethereum, okay? Because as you know, if we gonna continue in the bull trend, I do believe that Ethereum will be decoupling from Bitcoin, and Ethereum will highly outperform Bitcoin on all of the time frames, all right? And another confirmation for that is actually the fact that the Bitcoin is having right now a huge bearish divergence. This is an extended bearish divergence, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see right here on the MACD histogram, we are creating lower highs. However, the price action of Bitcoin is creating higher highs. And as you know from MCP Free University, this is actually the classic strong bearish divergence when the price is making higher high. However, the indicator, in our case, it's MACD indicator, MACD histogram, is creating lower highs. It means that the momentum is decreasing, and it is quite easy once we are at some major resistance for the bears to start taking over. All right, we need to be very careful right now on Bitcoin because, as you can see, we are crossing a daily moving average trend line, ladies and gentlemen, and we have already closed a daily candle below it. All right, and as you know from my videos, I always tell you about how the successful reclaim looks like, right? For the successful reclaim of any support or resistance, you don't only need a break with a high volume, which we have, but you also need a retest, all right? And then confirmation of the retest by breaking the previous low. So right now you can see we got the break with a nice volume, and right now we are retesting it. And if this another daily candle will close below this moving average trend line, it will increase the probabilities that Bitcoin can continue to go lower. All right, this is very important to understand. We have an extended bearish divergence. We are below a very important resistance, ladies and gentlemen. So if the daily candles start closing below and we will have a successful reclaim, we can assume that with the highest probability, we will start moving down towards our key high time frame support zone that is sitting at around $93,000. All right, we also have this bearish cross right here. So about Bitcoin, we are very, very careful. However, if we can start going above this moving average trend line again in our free Telegram channel, links are in the description. There is only one link actually. You can click on it and we will be releasing with the Paradise team an upside targets for the Bitcoin. As you know, from the higher degree perspective, we are creating an ABC, right? And the B sometimes exceeds the previous high. I've been talking about that in the previous video. If you have not watched the previous video and want to know what's going on with Bitcoin on a high time frame chart, go and watch it right now. So in our free Telegram channel, in the main one, we have many for you. We have MCP News free, MCP University free, we have MCP Extras free, where we are sharing with you what's going on behind the scenes, the whales movements, right? And you are getting all of this from us on Telegram. And one of the main channels is for Bitcoin free alert updates. And in there, until end of this week, we'll be sharing the upside targets, all right? You also know that we have a ultra high time frame target of $240,000 by the end of 2026. So these resistance levels, these next targets, the upside targets, gonna be very useful for you. So go check it right there. However, I'm not sharing with you this Bitcoin Bitcoin chart just to predict what's gonna happen with the highest probability with Bitcoin next. I'm sharing it with you to show you the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay? And as you can see, Ethereum on the same time frame, on the daily time frame, ladies and gentlemen, unlike Bitcoin, which is below the moving average trend line, below resistance, having a bearish divergence, extended one, which is even stronger than the classic one that is being created just by 2 points, right? 1, 2. This is three, all right? This is extended bearish divergence. So unlike Bitcoin, Ethereum is retesting as a bullish retest the moving average trend line. It is sitting and retesting also above the support. And have a look at the RSI indicator, ladies and gentlemen. Unlike Bitcoin that is having a bearish divergence, the Ethereum is having an extended bullish divergence, a hidden one, okay? I will share with you what I'm talking about exactly, because as you can see right here, Ethereum is creating higher lows after higher lows, and the indicator, the RSI indicator, is creating lower lows after lower lows, right? Extended hidden bullish divergence. As you know from our website, this is exactly how it looks like when the price is making higher lows. However, the indicator is creating lower lows. This is a hidden bullish divergence, ladies and gentlemen, and it's add up to the probabilities that the support, if there is some retest of any support, is gonna hold with the highest probability, all right? It just increases the probabilities. It's not a certainty. This is very important to understand in trading. It doesn't mean that for 100% we are gonna go to the upside. It just increases the probabilities, all right? And by gathering data from the market and whatever you are doing behind the scenes, you are checking on-chains data, you are taking a look at the volume profile, at a footprint, whatever. Basically, the more data and more confirmations you are getting, then the higher and better probability setups you can make in your trading strategy. Then it really depends on your money management and risk management, for how long can you survive and if you will be profitable in the long run. But the most important thing is that you are entering only the highest probability trade setups over a prolonged period of time, okay? If you keep doing this over and over again, you will be profitable in the end, and you will differentiate from the gamblers that can win loads of money in the crypto market, right? But only by luck. So they can be winning for a few months, but then the probability starts to play out and they will start to lose everything. As a professional trader, you are not gonna win by playing with luck. You need to have a proper system, proper trading strategy, and together with that, you need to be entering only the highest probability trade setups, all right? This is very important. So what happened, however, from the previous update, from the latest one, you can see that we have created this shooting star candle just by retesting this ascending trend line. This is a shooting star, and that is also the reason that increased the probabilities of us going down towards this support, that is also a bottom of our secondary wave of the Elliott wave price action development. Together with that, what is important to understand when we are going down or up, to look at the volume, all right? How much strength do we have in this bearish price action? Well, if we take a look at the volume, we are actually decreasing, right? So together with this bullish divergence, retesting a strong support right now, we are having the Elliott wave theory that I do believe that we are in a 5 moves to the upside, right? 1, 2, 3, and this is part of the third wave. As you know from the Elliott wave theory, the third wave is subdividing itself into another 5 moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I do believe that we are creating the third wave, and right now we are having the secondary wave, 1, 2, within the larger 3, all right? So I do believe that we are right here. Sometimes the second wave can also go as low as the bottom of the higher degree second wave, and I do believe that we are doing exactly that right now, ladies and gentlemen. So let me show you one more time. This is 1, 2, then 3. The 3 subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves. I do believe that we are right now here. If we will be able to hold above this, all right, if this daily candle or another daily candle will not be able to cross below this support and reclaim it, I don't believe we will continue lower, okay? I do believe that right now, if this support level will hold, we will start to go higher, and the next resistance that I'm expecting us to be hit, if this Elliott wave price action development is correct, is going to be around $3,000, all right? So I do believe this is the next major resistance from where we will then have a correction that will basically complete for us the fourth wave, and the final fifth wave, as you know already from the previous videos, I do believe will end around here. For more confirmations, we need to zoom in a little bit inside of the price action. So as you can see right now, we are on a medium time frame. frame, on the medium time frame, we are also having bullish divergences, right? So as you can see right now, the price is making higher low, and the indicator on the MACD, the histogram is making lower low, another bearish divergence, the RSI also lower low, so that's a double confirmation, and the stochastic RSI, if you can see it properly, is oversold right now. And if I zoom in a little bit more, you can see that we are actually having a bullish cross. All right, so this is just adding up to the probabilities that if we can hold above the low, all right, there is loads of confluences from the Elliott wave theory, from the price action development, and from the data we are having right now, that the Ethereum can continue to go to the upside. Okay, so if we hold right here, I do believe from the medium time frame perspective, we can start retesting once again this and this resistance as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I do update you about the market and giving you my insights every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I will keep doing this for you until the time that I have. If Bitcoin will not hit $44,000, you know what's gonna happen. I have the time frame. I have more than 4 months for that. Until then, smash the like button if you have enjoyed the video. Subscribe not to miss any other one, and I'll see you again after weekend on Tuesday. Cheers.